The Pendragon Foundation, rebuilding Britain's strongholds. We are a volunteer-based organisation which aims to restore castles across this country so that they can once more become centres of culture, commerce and community. My name's Nathan Hood. I'm the chair of the Pendragon Foundation, and we really cherish our historic castles. They go back hundreds, if not thousands of years, and are tied intimately to the history and land upon which they are built. They have seen many lives, from the builders who hammered their stones, to kings who sat in their halls, to soldiers who fought on their battlements, to ladies who entertained those who would court them. They have gone through many iterations, from Roman to Saxon, to Norman, Plantagenet, Tudor, Cromwellian, and so on. Their purposes have changed from being defensive fortifications to places of justice, to centres of artistic celebration, to residences of leisure. Their walls are scarred by the memories of all that has gone before them, all that has touched them. And they are a vital connection for us between the past, the present, and the future. Because in their stones, they reflect something of the people and the history and the land and the ideas and values and loves and desires that all went into shaping them, both in their initial construction and over the years that followed. They're a kind of tactile and visual reminder of what has come before us. Our history in stone is currently under significant pressure. The future of them is threatened and uncertain. The organisations which are primarily responsible for looking after our historic buildings, English Heritage and the National Trust, are both facing severe financial pressures, so much so they've already had to make drastic cuts to their workforce. There's also suggestions that they're beginning to start to sell some of these historic buildings, albeit not castles. And they're having to close some of these off to the public because it's too expensive to run during the winter. Additionally, we're seeing that vandalism of heritage sites is on the rise. In the last 6 months, there's been an increasing spate of graffiti and people attacking such places. And this has led the chair of the Lottery Heritage Trust to declare that the state of our heritage is the worst it's been in 50 years. The National Lottery Foundation chairperson, person who is very involved in supporting our heritage, is saying it's the worst it's been in half a century. And I think that there are two main aspects to this. One of them is the economics of it. For too long, there's been a reliance on tourism and holiday trade visiting for entertainment purposes to support these places. It's now come home to roost, especially given the cost of living crisis, which has been fueled by inflation, COVID, and the war in Ukraine. All of these things and more have contributed to rising costs, which have seen a decline in the number of tourists going to these places. Additionally, there is the shift in the audience. It used to be that the main audience for such places were families, 30-year-olds taking their young children to go and see the castle at a weekend. But that has shifted, both because the tastes of the younger generations have shifted so that they have less connection with their history and the architecture which went with it, but also a shift towards an older demographic who have more disposable income. But there is a kind of other aspect to this, one that is more fundamental, and that is a focus on tourism has left many castles separate from our everyday lives. We go to them at the weekends or when we're on holiday or when we have time off from work, and as such, they feel like things which are abstracted or unconnected from our work and the rest of our leisure time. They feel like they don't really belong in our real lives, as it were. They are an escape from that. And that can be a very nice thing. But what that means is that our heritage is, and the buildings which it is suffused with, aren't featuring as part of who we are and what we do on a regular basis. As a consequence, they have no meaningful impact on who we are. We're not shaped by them in what we're doing. And so we feel alienated from both the buildings and the history which informed us and gives rise to us, and we are the beneficiaries of and the stewards of. And as such, we kind of live these lives where we're disconnected from our history and our heritage. And when it's under such threat, it's vital that we secure its place, not only as an existing monument so that it continues into the future, but reintegrate it back into our lives, both as individuals and as communities. Our solution to this is the Pendragon Foundation. We want to set up a voluntary organization which will work together using innovative approaches to restore castles. We're going to do this primarily through private investment and crowdfunding. Crowdfunding has worked spectacularly well in other countries for restoring castles. And we believe that focusing our revenue on this front, rather than on grants and traditional ways of doing it, makes us more flexible and adaptable to the changing circumstances which our heritage faces. It also leaves us more free to be more creative in the ways that we approach our heritage. We don't believe that it can remain a place that's only visited at the weekend. It must be reintegrated into our everyday lives, thereby securing the future of our castles with their new purposes, but also providing a forum which can be a catalyst to community regeneration, both by offering us a space which new businesses can flourish in, where older businesses can grow, and also a space where creative enterprises and initiatives in the arts and other areas can be developed. We believe all of this is possible and that it is there for us to take up that challenge. And so we want to invite you, dear viewer, to support our efforts, to join our efforts, and to help save Britain's heritage. If you want to get involved, go to the Pendragon.Foundation, that is Pendragon.Foundation, and get in contact with us. We would be more than delighted to have you involved. We welcome anyone who wants to support our efforts. If you would like to donate, go to Pendragon.Foundation and you will be able to donate. Anything you can contribute is really welcome. This isn't just a pipe dream. This isn't just a fantasy. This is feasible. And with your help, we can restore Britain's castles. We can rebuild her strongholds, and we can regenerate our communities.